Now, Smashback is one of the newest and definitely my favorite Versus series at the moment. Most of the animations are absolutely stellar, there's this really passionate team behind all of this, and seeing a small creator like Ink take on the huge task with something like this is really admirable, just to say the least. And I am so glad that Papa One was able to bring some fame to this channel. So to celebrate the 10th episode of this series, I'm going to be listing my ranking of the 10 episodes we have so far. Please keep in mind that none of these episodes are bad in the slightest. So with that said, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, let's go! Now, number 10 is obviously Lucina versus Rob. Yes, it's funny and meant to be a joke, I get that, but critically, the animation is only a few seconds long. Now, it's obvious why this fight is so short, because you are a toy! But still, again, there isn't much you can do for this fight, but that's still why I have to put it at the bottom of the list. This isn't at the fault at Ink or any of the creators, it's just the fault that Rob literally cannot do anything. The animation was good for what it was, the analysis was definitely good and had a lot of funny moments to it, but nearly all Smash Bracket episodes have a great analysis, so that sadly doesn't help much. Those two reasons are why the Lucina vs. Rob is at the bottom of the list. Number 9 is going to go to the first episode of Smash Bracket, Link vs. Ridley. Now, it might seem obvious that it's low because, oh, first episode itis, but not actually. This was actually a great pilot episode, believe it or not. The animation is great, though the fight is a little bit short, especially considering all the defense Ridley supposedly has from the analysis. I think the fight should have at least been a minute long now, including the game sound effect. But it's the first episode, so I can understand that. The analysis was entertaining, but was a little lacking in jokes for me personally. My biggest problem though has to be the sound effects. Now, they were good choices for sound effects, no doubt about that, but sometimes they were way too hard to hear, especially considering how loud the music is. But that's really my biggest problem with the fight. But other than that, it was still a really good first episode of the series, and it was a great way to start it off for sure. Number 8 is Meta Knight vs. Marth. I honestly don't know what to say about this episode. It's good all around. The fight was good, the analysis was good, the jokes were good, the good was good, the music was good. Oh yeah! I can finally start talking about the music now. The Smashback OST is so damn good, I cannot even explain. This episode has a very fitting OST, especially considering both characters, but it's definitely not one of my favorites from the series. Overall, this episode reaches a perfect ground on everything about it. There's no standout positives, but there's no standout lows either. It's just a perfectly good episode. Number 7 is DDD vs. K. Rool. Now this is where things really start getting good. Let's start with the analysis. It's great with a lot of entertaining moments and good jokes to boot. The OST is definitely one of my favorites in the entire series. It is so dang fantastic. You need to listen to it if you haven't already. It's phenomenal. The animation is great as well. All the action and fighting looks really nice and clean. However, what's keeping this from getting any higher on the list is K. Rool's constant sprite changes. He switches between 3 different sprites between the whole battle. He starts as this one, which is what you see for most of the battle. Then he briefly changes it into his King of Swing sprite, which, you know, it doesn't look that bad, but it definitely is a little bit of a change. But then he becomes his Jungle Climber sprite, which completely clashes with DDD's consistent sprite work so much that I sadly just can't ignore. This major flaw is why I can't put this episode any higher, but despite that, it's still a great episode and a great watch regardless. Number 6 is Sonic vs. Fox. This is definitely the most controversial fight on Smash Bracket for sure, because, oh no, Sonic lost! Our world is in peril! Seriously though, although Sonic lost, you know, who was my preferred character, that's no reason to hate this episode. Oh, just because your favorite character lost, that doesn't mean that the episode is bad. You gotta take the episode into consideration for what it is, not because a character you wanted lost. So, basically, I love Mario, and because he lost to Mega Man, I'm supposed to hate that episode now? No, that's stupid. That's stupid. Why would people do stuff like that? Anyway, I'm getting off track. Now, the sprites do undoubtedly look off next to each other, because, you know, Sonic uses the Sonic Battle sprite from the GBA game, and I don't really know where Sonic's come from, but it's not as bad as King K. Rool versus DDD, but it still definitely does look a little off. but the animation itself has really fast moments all around, which definitely does help and fit with these characters because they are both speed demons. Supersonic fighting the R-Wing has to be my favorite part of the fight. The death was pretty weak in my opinion, as it's too sudden and quick for my liking, but the rest was still really good. The OST was quite solid, and the analysis was, of course, really good. This episode has a few things that could be fixed, but there's no real standout flaws with it, aside from that little, sprite animation error. There's just some episodes that do all these traits a little better, which is why I can't put this episode any higher on the list. Number 5 is Captain Falcon vs. Falco. I didn't expect this episode to be as good as it was, oh my gosh! Now, I knew Falco was gonna win going into this, but that didn't take away from how amazing this fight was. Seeing Falcon pimp out in a standard car at the beginning had me bursting out laughing on my first watch. Seriously, here's live footage. Seeing Falco and Falcon fight on an F-Zero track with the cars was really such an interesting and dynamic way of the terrain, and it definitely helped the fight stand out a lot. Seeing Kirby driving was an absolute shock, but it was still really funny regardless. The beginning part of the fight was really fast and frantic, but once the R-Wings come in, really gets real. Captain Falcon punching Falco off the Blue Falcon and stealing an R-Wing only to kill Slippy and Peppy with it was amazing. And once Falco got the R-Wing himself, having him immediately destroy Falcon was a clever way to show how much Falcon was outclassed compared to that stupid thing. The death was quite solid too. It really caught me off guard on my first watch, but it was still great regardless. The OST is quite solid, and the analysis was actually one of my favorites in the whole series so far. This was a great episode, and this is when the series truly hit a new phase with these animations. And after the next entry, you'll start to see why that is. Number 4 is Mario vs. Mega Man. For only being the second episode, this is one hell of a battle. It may be one of the shorter ones, but that doesn't mean it's bad by any means. I may have a bias because I love both of these characters a ton, but seeing all their different abilities in use was amazing. The analysis was great, the fight was incredible. Get it because the channel is run by Inkthinks? Yeah, I know I'm not funny, but I don't know what else to say about this episode. It was amazing. There were really no noticeable flaws with it, but there are still a few episodes that excel upon the aspects of this one. Like the OST definitely is not the best, though it's still really good. The animation has definitely improved from since then, and there was just some other episodes that I think did this stuff better, so I can't put it any higher because of that. Number 3 is Jigglypuff vs. Kirby. This was a way better episode than I thought it would be. Wait, did I just say that for Falcon vs. Falco? I don't care. The fight oozes personality out of the screen. Everything from Kirby dancing to Kirby teabagging, and just everything about it just oozes charm to all of Jigglypuff's different moves, to that absolutely golden Sonic scene in the beginning. Everything about this battle was really fun and enjoyable. Seeing all their copy abilities and moves play off each other in such a quick and frantic way kept the battle fun and fresh the whole way through, and each time I watch it. The analysis was good as always, the music was great, and I adore the inspiration they took from Right Back At You with this track. It really paid off. The death was fitting too. With a character like Kirby, planetary destruction was inevitable, and this was one awesome way to do that. Number 2 is Isabelle vs. Ganondorf. This was a fantastic episode. The hand-drawn animations look really good and are a nice change of pace from the normal sprites. I noticed a few animation errors here and there, but it definitely doesn't ruin the fight by any means. Although this was an absolute stomp in Ganon's favor, they somehow found a way to make this a really enjoyable fight. Everything Ganondorf does and how Isabelle reacts to it is just pure gold, especially this face. Come on, if this isn't a 10 out of 10, then I don't know what is. I also love how Isabelle just gives up instead of her being absolutely mutilated, just like what I did to Goku once. Yeah, it wasn't pretty for him once I turned up into my invisible super form. Anyway, enough with that. The OST was really good, which it didn't need to for something like this. The analysis was very enjoyable, especially with Ink exaggerating all of Isabelle's feats and stuff. That was really funny and enjoyable to watch. All of these combined make a fantastic episode, but there is still one that is somehow even better. And if you watch all of the Inkthinks videos and Smash Bracket episodes, then you know what episode is taking number 1. Sephiroth versus Mewtwo. This video is perfection. This episode gets absolutely everything right. The analysis was great, the jokes were horrible, but that's meant to be the joke of the episode, so it worked out perfectly. The winner was explained really well and actually made me agree with the outcome. The fight was amazing! Not only was it the longest fight of the series, but seeing all their unique abilities and powers affect one another was incredibly entertaining, epic, and had me at the edge of my seat the entire time during the premiere. And the music, oh my god! Angelic Experiments has been stuck in my head for weeks now. It's absolutely amazing. The death is so damn brutal and I love it. Seeing Mewtwo get absolutely mutilated limb by limb is really disgusting, but freaking awesome as well. I do not have a single flaw with this video. Everything about it was incredible. From the music, to the animation, to the analysis, to the death, everything about it was amazing and perfectly well done. Hence why this is my #1 favorite episode of Smash Bracket out of these first 10 episodes. And that's gonna do it for the list. I love Smash Bracket so far, and I can't wait to see what they have next in store. Pikachu vs. Pac-Man is going to be a great battle, and I cannot wait to see the fight. I really hope Pikachu wins, but if Smash Bracket gives Pac-Man his Ghost of Adventures power-ups, then he's pretty much screwed, because I don't know how Pikachu's gonna deal with Pac-Planet. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was a nice surprise for you. Anyway, see you later, gamers.